Civil campaign with neither Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton wanting to be seen as the aggressor has now become a battle between seasoned lawyers firing off objections and accusations. Before we assess who is misstating the facts, the accusations from last night's debate continued on the campaign trail today.
Senator Obama is very frustrated. The events of the last 10 or so days, particularly the outcomes in New Hampshire and Nevada, have apparently convinced him to adopt a different strategy.
We can't afford a president whose positions change with the politics of the moment. We need a president who knows that being ready on day one means getting it right from day one. And South Carolina, if you give me that chance, that's the kind of president I intend to be.
And with the South Carolina primary just 4 days away, today South Carolina's biggest newspaper, The State, endorsed Obama, concluding the restoration of the Clintons to the White House would trigger a new wave of all-out political warfare. Well, it sure seems no trigger is necessary. The warfare's begun, and we are on their trail, separating political fact from fiction. We are going to dissect 5 issues. I'll tell you who's right. I'm joined by MSNBC political analysts Lawrence O'Donnell, Rachel Maddow, also a host on Air America Radio, and Pat Buchanan. All right, round one. Again and again, we hear Bill and Hillary Clinton claiming that Obama has been effectively celebrating Ronald Reagan and the Republican Party.
The facts are that he has said in the last week that he really liked the ideas of the Republicans over the last 10 to 15 years. And we can give you the exact quote.
What you just repeated here today is patent. Wait, no, Hillary, you just spoke.
I did not say anything about Ronald Reagan. You said two things. You talked about admiring Ronald Reagan, and you talked about the ideas of the Republicans. I didn't talk about Ronald Reagan.
We just had the tape. You just said that I complimented the Republican ideas. That is not true. What I said, and I will provide you with the quote. What I said is that Ronald Reagan was a transformative political figure because he was able to get Democrats to vote against their economic interests to form a majority to push through their agenda, an agenda that I objected to.
But you also talked about the Republicans having ideas over the last 10 to 15 years.
I didn't say they were good ones.
Well, you can read the context of it.
Well,
it certainly came across.
I didn't say they were good ones.
All right, the arguments have been heard. I give this one absolutely 100% to Obama. I think the Clintons are distorting what he said. He never, ever said he really liked the idea of the Republicans. Rachel Maddow, you agree with me?
No.
Tell me why.
I give this one to Clinton, actually. I think she was inelegant and imprecise in the attack. But if you look up what Obama said, he described the Republican Party as the party of ideas, challenging conventional wisdom.
He never said he liked the ideas.
He didn't say he liked the ideas.
He never said it.
Describing them as the party of ideas, it was in an approving way. And I think the context is right, even though her attack was inaptly phrased.
Inaccurate. But her attack, in my view, Lawrence, was simply inaccurate. For her to say that Obama said he really liked the idea of Republicans, every time he did it, he would talk about the Republicans and say that it's a shame that we haven't been able to do X. And I'm going to play the soundbite in a minute, but what do you make of it, Lawrence?
Dan, you're 100% right. The first person I heard talk this way in the Democratic Party was Barney Frank back in the 80s, talking about how effective Reagan was, which is what Obama was talking about, creating the Reagan Democrat. Obama would love to create Obama Republicans. Rachel, I don't know where you get the idea that Hillary Clinton is in any way right about this. She's pretending that Obama said something he didn't, and then she pretends not to understand what he said. She's much smarter than that.
Let me play the sound, because I know the soundbite that Rachel's talking about. This is probably the most controversial part of what Barack Obama said.
It's fair to say the Republicans were the party of ideas for a pretty long chunk of time there over the last 10, 15 years, in the sense that they were challenging conventional wisdom.
In the sense that they were challenging conventional wisdom.
They were the party of ideas.
In the sense that they were...
They were the party of ideas, saying that my party, the Democratic Party, was not the party of ideas. Listen, I'm not happy that he said these things. I'm not gleeful about it, but she's attacking him for it rightfully. I was mad when I heard him say that.
Pat, is Barack Obama celebrating your former party?
No, he's not. He did say Reagan was a transformational figure, which he was. He did say the Republicans in the last 10 or 15 years, which would take us back to the inauguration of Bill Clinton, were the party of ideas, or appeared to be the party of ideas. He did not say he agreed with them. Pat Moynihan once said, Lawrence's old boss, the Republican Party of a sudden became the party of ideas. Both statements were true, and they've been distorted, and they have hammered Barack Obama with him, and I think they've hurt him.
And here's what Obama made another point about this, talking about what Bill and Hillary Clinton have said about it.
The irony of this is that you provided much more fulsome praise of Ronald Reagan in a book by Tom Brokaw that's being published right now, as did Bill Clinton in the past. So these are the kinds of political games that we are accustomed to.
Before I go to round two, I'm going to give Rachel one more chance to take it back. Rachel, come on.
I do not take it back.
Right.
He praised Reagan. He didn't say, I love Reagan's policies. He said he was transformative and had great political skill.
This one goes to Obama. This is a cheap shot by the Clintons, and they know it. Next up, round two. Clinton has been slamming Obama for voting present rather than yes or no over 100 times on bills that came up in the Illinois State Senate.
You never take responsibility for any vote, and that has been a pattern. You now wait a minute, in the Illinois State Legislature, just a minute, in the Illinois State Senate, Senator Obama voted 130 times present. That's not yes, that's not no, that's maybe. And on issue after issue that really were hard to explain or understand. It's just very difficult to get a straight answer.
In Illinois, oftentimes you'd vote present in order to indicate that you had problems with a bill that otherwise you might be willing to vote for. And oftentimes you'd have a strategy that would help move the thing forward.
All right, they are both technically right here, but it warps Obama's record, I believe, to suggest he was unwilling to take a stand on these issues, rather than at times deciding it would be more strategic not to vote on a bill that he had concerns about. Lawrence O'Donnell, again, I am going to give this one to Obama.
Well, I think the truth of it is with Obama, listen, I'm a creature of the Senate. I worked in the United States Senate for 7 years, so I understand all the parliamentary niceties of what Obama's talking about. I do think, however, Edwards double-teaming Obama on this one with Hillary was probably something that was that probably played to Hillary's benefit in that exchange. Obama could say, and he didn't, and maybe doesn't realize it, that Hillary Clinton, as a United States Senator, has missed more votes in the Senate than Obama voted present on. All the senators miss votes. They cast thousands of votes, and they miss hundreds of them.
Put aside missing votes, Pat. I mean, you have senators who vote against bills that they fundamentally agree with because there's an amendment slipped in at the last minute, and they say, you know what, you're going to put in that amendment, I'm not going to vote for that bill. And then, lo and behold, they get accused, oh, no, you didn't support X, Y, and Z.
Dan, you sound like you're defending, I voted against that bill before I voted for it.
Yeah.
Look, Obama,
I'll defend that.
Hillary won this battle because she stated the facts accurately, and the facts raise questions in people's minds which you cannot answer in 20 seconds. Yes, it's a fair question. Look, it raises a question in my mind I wanted explained, and you can't explain it in 15 seconds.
Yeah, but that's the point of this program. In this program, we're trying to spend more than 15 seconds and actually get into whether it's a fair...
You're asking who do I score that, and that's easily Hillary. It's a good shot.
I think this one definitely goes to Obama, because when Hillary said it's not a yes or a no, it's voting present is a maybe, that's not actually true. No. This is a cheap shot because...
There were times Planned Parenthood on an abortion vote said, please vote present.
Right.
So he votes present.
This is cheap because it looks damning to say you voted present, but the longer than 15-second explanation it takes to explain the parliamentary procedures and strategic stuff...
It's a great political move.
It's not damning. You don't have the chance to do that.
And it's a great political move, Pat. I'm not talking about who gets political points here. I'm talking about whether it's a fair...
How do you know that his present votes were all votes of really thoughtfulness and they weren't ducking the issue? That's the suspicion raised, validly raised. Point to Hillary.
Now, I still give this one to Obama, although I think they were both factually, technically correct. Round